All right, students, get ready to create some optical illusional art together. Go ahead and grab a pencil and a paper. I highly recommend a pencil over a pen to start out with, as this one can get a little complicated. It's really repetitive, but you just need to really be mindful, and just in case you need to do erasing, a pencil is preferable. So we're just gonna do a simple curved line in the middle, and from right through the middle of the horizontal paper. So go ahead and go downwards and then upwards and finish that. From there, we're gonna draw 4 dots throughout the curved lines, and they can be anywhere on the lines, anywhere you choose, okay? So like I spaced mine out evenly. If you don't want to space them out evenly, that's fine as well. Next, I am going to add little curved lines starting from the dots towards one another. Just a little bit of a curved line there. For this one, I'm going to follow a little bit more of that curve going up. Same with this one, I'm going to follow that curve going up, and then one here. From there, we just continue the same thing and adding curved lines all the way to the top, connecting each one dot to dot. So going back to the dots, adding a curved line. I have also shared this assignment via photos in the steps that they go. If that's easier for you, you can go back and look that way as well when you're creating your own. It can be really easy to look at it in the steps and see how it's supposed to turn out. But you're gonna continue doing this all the way throughout. See over here, I can almost no longer do lines going that way, so I'm gonna do one more there. And then from here, I'm just gonna continue doing lines here. So once you're finished with those curves, that's fine. The same thing is gonna eventually happen over here. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I'm gonna do a little time lapse for the rest of this top part, but then I'll slow down to show you some of the other details and show you the bottom portion. And we're actually doing the exact same thing on the bottom portion, but I won't show that yet, just in case, because I don't want to add any confusion. All right, y'all, I slowed it down for just a second because as you could see, I couldn't finish this one all the way. I'd have to really change the shape of it to finish. And so just look how I made it look like it's going off the page. So again, once your arches start to get too much, that's okay. Just let them go off the page. Just like here too, I'm letting them go off the page, and that's no problem because it gives the idea that it's continuing to go, okay? And so again, like I can't do full arches here anymore, so I'm just adding it there. Adding one here and here, here, and then again, just adding little half circles at this point, or half arches, I should say, until you complete it all the way. So we've got this side here. We're gonna just flip it around and we're gonna do the exact same thing here. I'm gonna make my curves a little smaller on the parts where it's scooping downwards because I don't want there to be open space. That's gonna give less idea of an illusion when we give these open spaces. I'm gonna have the curve be very subtle, but then as I come to a more intense curve on that line, I'll make my curve a little bit more intense to match it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do the time lapse as I complete this side, just like we did the other side, okay? All right, students, I now want you to grab at least 3 colors. You can do more than 3 colors, but I want you to start with at least 3. And yes, we are going to be coloring this whole thing. So if it takes you a couple days to color, no problem. Maybe focus on doing like 2 areas today, 2 areas tomorrow, 1 area the next day, and then just filling it in nicely the day after before you turn it in. Before I color everything and just go to town with coloring everything in, I like to mark where I want each color to be. So for instance, I'm gonna start in this space right here, and I'm gonna mark a purple. Well, I have 2 other colors I'm gonna use, so I'm gonna count 1, 2, and then purple above, 1, 2, and then purple again, 1, 2, and I'm gonna do purple on the side here because that would be a continuation of that one, right? I'm gonna do the same thing below it, 1, 2, mark it purple. 1, 2, mark it purple. 1, 2, purple, 1, 2, and then similar these outside pieces, okay? Then I think I want blue underneath, so I'm just gonna mark the space right underneath each purple with blue. This just makes it easier so that when I go into color, I'm not having to take the time to think, oh, what color gets next and then get messed up. I can just look at what color needs to go there and fill it in. So now I'm gonna do brown, 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 brown. Now it could get pretty boring only doing this throughout the whole thing. You can do that if you want at first, but I'm gonna go ahead and just start coloring in this whole space with each color, and then I'm gonna do the same thing in every other space. Color mark it, and then go in and actually color the full thing. All right, students, so once you're done coloring the whole thing, you can leave it as such with just the colors, or if you want it to pop a little more, you can go in and grab a black marker or a black colored pencil and go over any lines where there were pencils just to make it pop a little more. There's a lot of vibrant, bold, black outlining in op art, so this is an option, but it is not required. All right, students, so if you add a dark outline to where the pencil lines were, like here, just see how much more it pops, and it looks more like an illusion. It looks like these are like three-dimensional pieces of like really like tubes or something squished next to each other. And so again, you don't need to outline it. It's not a requirement, but it will look so much cooler if you do that. This is an art project that obviously takes just a little more time, but that's why we're doing it all week long. I'm so excited to see what y'all come up with and the colors you choose. You're gonna do an amazing job. So go ahead and finish your work. I look forward to seeing it. Remember to upload a picture of this and then submit it into the assignment in Google Classroom.